we didn't start this business to primarily make money, which sounds weird. We started this business to make the best beer we could make.
Yeah.
And we spent more than a decade before we started this business chasing the highest rated beers in the world and really learning where is that line.
Yeah.
If we can't hit that and make world-class beer, we're not doing it.
Hello and welcome to Rivington Farm Trip, where we are here for the second inaugural speed dating sessions.
Last year we interviewed 10 breweries, so we thought we'd go one better this year, Chris, and interview 11.
Oh yes, we've been talking with breweries from all over the world, and we've even got them doing a bit of beer mat flipping courtesy of our sponsors at Mosaic Ballprint. But Paul, which brewery are we talking to today?
Today's brewery is... So, Chris, Third Moon Brewery, our first Canadian brewery.
Yay, Canadian content. Let's get it going.
Go Canucks. So, tell us about yourself, where you're from, what you're doing, what brings you here.
Well, my name's Chris, and we're from Third Moon. So Bebo, my business partner, and I have come across the pond, and we met the awesome people from Rivington a couple of years ago, pouring at different festivals in some other countries, and right away we could just tell these are good people. And for Bebo and I, our model is keep working with good people, and we feel like if we just focus on that over time, there'll be more good people in the world. If everyone supports that, then we can make this world a better place, one beer at a time.
Fucking A.
What a pitch.
And on that, we've asked everyone to bring a beer along with them to the podcast. So, what have you bought?
You don't know what this is, by the way.
No, I don't.
I do. Cause
This is the second time you're
going to Cream One's jeans.
Okay, fantastic.
So this
I look forward to
is Quadruple Remorse. So one of the main styles people know us for is big, juicy IPAs, and Remorse started as a 6.5% IPA. It's all Nelson Sauvin, so come on, my favorite hop. And really?
Not just the same name.
Nice.
Not just the same name, same hot taste. My God.
Yeah, so
Marry me, Chris.
people, hey,
That'd be weird, though.
Yeah.
we can do anything these days.
I don't understand. You can't both be called Chris in a relationship.
So yeah, there's a few recipes we have where we start with the IPA version, and then we'll say, what does this taste like when we make it a double? So IPA is 6.5% for us, 8% for our doubles, triples 10.5%, quadruple. This is 11.9%. So I mean, it's a nice sessionable daytime beer.
Yes.
And
keeping it sensible.
And then we also have done some quintuple versions, 13.5%. So it's
Quintuple.
So it's kind of like doing the full stack.
I've
Remorse
never
is
had a quintuple.
No.
So Remorse is our all Nelson IPA, and we're tasting here the
And you have no
quadruple
remorse.
version.
Is it named after the feeling the next day?
All our beers would be named that if we went that route. But we are 5 years old, and we've made 500 different beers. So
Wow.
our model turned around what we saw happening in Ontario, where we are. We're just outside of Toronto, a town called Milton. And we just saw that people were playing it safe. And the beers that Bebo and I were chasing from around the world were bigger and just higher impact. So we've been kind of building this portfolio of beers. And so this is part of the Nelson stack, and we're working our way through different hops. We started with our core hops, which are from Yakima. So, we use a lot of Citra and Mosaic and Simcoe, all the core American hops. But then the last 4 years or so of our 5-year existence, we've been getting more and more into using New Zealand hops and just really enjoying the vibrance that comes along with it. These are very expressive beers.
I think every brewery we've spoke to today is all in on New Zealand hops at the moment.
And Nelson, to me, is such a fun hop because we have so many people that will come to our tap room or come to the bottle shop who aren't traditionally beer people, and they'll say, well, I'm not totally into it. Oh, what do you like to enjoy? I'm more of a wine drinker. Well, you know what? I've got a hop for you. Nelson Sauvin.
Yeah.
Some white wine notes, some gooseberry, and all of a sudden you're talking about words that are really approachable.
Yeah.
And for us, we love big flavor, big, bold, everything. And that's in our name as well. But it's got to be drinkable.
Yeah. And also it's the nature of craft beer in general. I think it has more in common with wine than it does traditional beer to some respect, because there's more focus on, the hops or whatever's going in there. Yeah.
We have this dynamic in Ontario that is really ingrained in Ontario culture, and that's buying your beer from the LCBO. It's like 300 stores, government run, and you get all those traditional beers there. So for us, being a small scale, we just realized that's not going to be our sweet spot. We're not going to be able to make, a Hefeweizen for the same price as you can buy in the LCBO. So our focus is to make beers that you can't just walk in there and buy.
Nice.
So
that's good.
Big IPAs and fresh.
Yeah.
And freshness plays a big part.
Well, tell us a little bit about beer culture in Canada in general. It's a bit of a black hole for me.
And before that, actually, can I just point out on this beer, I have very much a reputation on this channel for pissing all over QIPAs, because they're just traditionally way too sweet. They're almost like undiluted juice, and it's just too much, like too sweet. But there's whatever you've done there, whether it's like dry hopping or something, there's plenty of bitterness to like back that up on the back end, which means that it's not cloying. Yeah. It's not too sweet.
Thank you.
It's sweet, but it's also very well balanced.
It's
I'm very much enjoying that. Yeah,
you're right. And when you get up to these higher alcohol, you got to add more grains, you got to add more hops to offset that. And to me, it becomes, as people likes to say, a bit of black magic to get something this big that is still drinkable.
Yeah.
And if it's not approachable, then like, why are we doing it, right? Like this is supposed to be something that for us supports good conversation. So it's like got to sit right on the palate. The pH has got to hit right. It's something that you want to, as you're talking, to be like, wow, like this is really good. Yeah. You don't want all of a sudden be like, ooh.
That's fucking good beer. Bebo, good work, man.
Sorry, Canadian beer culture.
Canadian beer culture. So you're saying you and Bebo kind of bonded over Untapped about your love of sort of big, interesting craft beer. So what's it like in Canada? Is it quite hard to get into the craft scene, or is it relatively prevalent like it is in the UK?
I think it has changed a lot. These past 10 years have really changed a lot. So in my personal opinion, I feel like for a long time, Canada was still in development. And I don't know how this is the case, but the pandemic seems to have raised the bar.
Yeah.
And after the pandemic, when we look around at the Canadian beer scene, we got a lot to be proud of now, and there's so much better beer to have.
Is that home brewing came into being?
Maybe, and I think it was just a lot of home brewers who wanted to turn this into a business, and just go into it. And we always talk about 10 years ago, or even just before the pandemic, it was enough to have a craft brewery. People would want to support that. Oh, this is craft. This is, this is local. This is made in a small batch. So it's made with more love. And that was kind of the approach. But now that's not enough. Like it's got to be really good beer. And the market has become saturated like everywhere else in the world. So if your beer isn't exceptional, then you're not going to be able to survive. The costs in our market have gone up over 30% in the last 2 years, but the market price hasn't gone up very much, and everyone's feeling the pinch. So we realize like we've got to just absorb that. And we didn't start this business to primarily make money, which sounds weird. We started this business to make the best beer we could make. Yeah. And we spent more than a decade before we started this business chasing the highest rated beers in the world and really learning where is that line. If we can't hit that and make world-class beer, we're not doing it.
So love that.
Amen to that. I mean, and to be fair, you
got to take pride in your work, right?
Yeah, you're singing from the same hymn sheet as the UK, though, right? Because I mean, so many breweries there. I mean, they would say exactly the same thing. Like, no one goes into beer to make money. Yeah, like you just don't do it. There's so many.
But you'd be wrong.
Yeah, there's so many better ways to make money.
And if you want to make money, you probably need to water down your beer.
Exactly. And this is the thing. And like, I mean, you guys familiar with Verdant? Mm-hmm. So like my favorite brewery.
Delicious.
And what I really liked about talking to James from there about it is like, there's just this kind of like no compromise attitude to it. It's like, well, we're not going to dilute the beer. We're going to keep hopping it. The reason why, you know, it tastes like that is because we have a shitload of hops in there.
There's a saturation.
Yeah.
To the
And
flavor.
that's why it does it. If we dial that back, it's not the same beer anymore.
Yeah, and it's a very different business because it's got to stay lean or it can't survive. So for us, you know, we don't have commission sales reps. So the people who drink our beer are our extended sales force. Those are the people who are going to carry the torch and tell that story and keep spreading the word.
Yeah.
How does that? Because I don't know if you know, Chris, Canada's quite a big place.
I've heard it's weird.
It's
It's
quite
big, yeah.
Is it quite regional? Because I imagine just the geographic nature of Canada being so fucking huge, it's very hard to get your name out there regardless. So did you focus on your particular area, or have you got sort of more distribution around?
So Canada is, it's probably not dissimilar from other places in the world in that even though the country's broken up into a dozen provinces, they're like a dozen countries within a country. So
Especially Quebec.
Exactly. But selling beer to another province is like selling beer to another country. And the same dynamics exist. You're selling it to the liquor control board of that province, who is then doubling it to sell it to the bar that first reached out to you.
Yeah.
And then they do their industry standard markup. And then a customer who's still in Canada in another province is having to pay, you know, $20 a can and saying, this is ludicrous. I'm not going to do it. We can't believe the brewery would do this. And we're doing everything we can on the price side to squeeze ourselves to try to help that end margin. But you double it a couple times and you get to the same place. So selling to another country or selling to another province within Canada, the same dynamics are at play, and it's really tough. And it's easier for someone in another country to understand the cost of the logistics to get the beer there, but it's really the same. So there's talk, you know, in the latest climate of breaking down some of those barriers, but these barriers have been in place for a long time, and there's a lot of people with jobs that would be impacted. So we don't feel like it's going to change too much quickly.
No. So in the UK, craft beer in supermarkets is very much a contentious subject, and it's kind of frowned upon within the community for craft breweries to enter supermarkets. That's not the same in the US, where obviously it's such a big country that, you know, there's regional supermarkets and stuff there, and especially in states specific, where it's actually completely fine. They've got the cold chain going on, everything. So selling into supermarkets is actually like, it makes complete sense, and it doesn't have that same sellout vibe and stigma that it does in the UK. What's Canada's kind of supermarket thing? Is it more in line with the US?
So it's more provincial. And so in Quebec, it's normal for a brewery to have a direct relationship with stores and sell to them. But in Ontario, about 2 years ago, the laws were changed, and we were given access to the grocery stores. And so everybody thinks this is great. You can sell in grocery stores now. Well, it's not that simple. To be able to get into a grocery store, the grocery store has to order through the Liquor Control Board of Ontario. And because we don't sell to them, or it would be negative and we would ruin our business, we sell everything out of our front door through our website. We can distribute direct to homes. And so for us, it's not even a play that we can have access to. And this was a law that was changed to try to help smaller breweries, but it doesn't help us at all, because if we're not in the LCBO, then grocery stores can't even buy our product. And even those grocery stores need to have someone who understands beer at the wheel who's ordering. So naturally, in this early stage of that, with a lack of experience, they would rather deal with fewer SKUs and bigger craft breweries, which sometimes don't feel like they're craft breweries at all, that are on those shelves. And over a period of time, it's great, that first initial injection of fresh product. But if no one's at the wheel, then after about a year, you've got a bunch of stale product, and it will scare off those consumers who are learning in their craft journey about the importance of freshness.
It kind of goes against the whole thing about small batch artisanal beer anyway, right? Because as soon as you start thinking about that, you're thinking scaling, and then quality might get kind of perverse, and all that stuff. So, but you were saying before we jumped on it as we wobbled down from your stall over there with these quads.
Wobbled indeed.
You've got 15 people working with the brewery.
We do now.
Is it 15 in total, or 15 including you and Bebo?
Yeah, it's around that. We started with 2 employees, and to now have 15 is wonderful.
So by just comparing them to all the other breweries we speak to, but you're basically a multinational corporation without that many people working for you. It's usually one bloke in a shed.
Right. We're exporting to 25 countries now. So, for a small brewery like us, who's very niche in our own market, and that slice of the pie is tiny, after 5 years, all the beer nerds know about us now, and that's the target customer that we started appealing to. So exporting for us allows us to sprinkle a little bit in a lot of different markets. But then you have this other challenge of, with any product, you can't just send it over there and expect it to sort itself. So Bebo and I are trying to come to festivals like this and meet the people who are the ones who are going to have to pay $20 a can for our beer, and show them we are not this big machine. We're 2 guys who are as fanatical about beer as they are, and create a memorable moment and story that they can go on and tell. And then when they see our beer on the shelf somewhere, they can tell their friends, I met these guys. I'm going to buy this beer. We're going to share it. And so those are the important people that are supporting craft, that are the ones who are taking the chance and saying, we'll take turns and I'll buy this beer and we'll all try a little bit, and just kind of spread this story and support, artisan brewing.
Fuck yes. Absolutely wonderful. Cheers to that, by the way.
Cheers.
Yeah. So
I feel quite emotional.
I've got 2 things. First one is that yesterday when we were here, we were doing a sweep around, trying different beers and brews, and your Pilsner was the highlight of yesterday for us. It was literally the beer that we are kind of wanky beer, wanky lager guys. We do really love.
I feel you.
Like how do you, one of our sponsors, Mark, who's passed out in his tent at the moment. By the way. He's just tired.
Recharging.
He's just tired. He basically said, I might just sit here and drink this all day. And he was quite happy to do.
He actually said, this beer should just be on every single Linda machine.
That's so wonderful to hear, because that is one of the 4 core beers that we have. And in 5 years, making 500 different beers, we turned the model around for traditional breweries and said, every week we are going to release new beers. But Kill's Pilsner is one of our core beers.
Keep doing that.
And it's Alsace hops and it's Czech style pils. And sometimes I feel like it's a little too nerdy for the average craft beer consumer who can't tell one lager from another.
Yeah.
To me, it's like ripping crusty bread under your nose. There's so much going on in that. It's not a one note lager.
It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful beer. So fucking fair play, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you. It's so fun at these festivals.
It's just really conscious of time again.
My second point, it's often said that beer and politics should never be spoken about together. Me and Paul don't care for that convention. No. You don't have to answer this, but like, I kind of feel it's sort of relevant to a point, obviously, as Canadians, fellow members of the Commonwealth. What's happening in the border with like the US at the moment, and everything happened at the beginning of the year. We had the tariffs thing, and Canada went full blown. Don't fuck with Canada. Buy local.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys notice a spike in terms of your own sales and your own products through that? Really, I suppose,
we feel like there's definitely a lot of love for Canada around the world right now, and like really appreciate that. It's so wonderful. But it didn't change our business too much yet, because we're contracting our hops the year before.
Right.
So it's really next year where we're going to start to feel that pinch. And then, down to aluminum and, every kind of material that we use. is getting impacted. But we're in those kind of, they're on, they're off, they're on, they're off.
Yeah.
So
who knows what's gonna.
at this point, we're still just trying to stay the course. And we've always said, we're here to make beer that we're proud of. And so whatever that means, like, we're going to continue to sell at a market price and try to find ways. And being only 5 years old, we're lucky enough that there's still efficiencies to be found internally. So by getting better at what we do and making better use of the equipment we already have, we're lucky to be a young brewery and to be able to ride that and try to absorb some of the turbulence. So I hope things improve, because we all know, like, if we work together, that's better for everyone.
Yeah.
And, for us, our closest trading partner is, it's very important.
I could speak to you all day.
That's the most wholesome. That's the most wholesome, just positive attitude, and that's what we need more of. That sort of thing.
Good.
Do you want to tee up the final thing?
I do. We're supposed to ask you what you think about Rivington Farm Trip as well. First time?
It's our first time, and we're so glad that we were able to make this happen.
It's great, isn't it?
When we rolled up yesterday and I looked around, I just felt like I was home. I was on a canoe trip the weekend before, and I love to be outside. So having that nature component to be so integrated with the experience,
That's amazing.
it's wonderful. And we're food manufacturing, so for us in an industrial building, there's not a whole lot of romance. But here, you could smell it in the air. Like, you're home.
And it's
awesome.
it's a beer festival for brewers as well.
It is.
More as much as it is for consumers. And
It's very well organized.
And I was going to quickly just touch on the point that you went to the local pub yesterday, didn't you? There's rumours circulating around the campsite that you were behind the bar. I don't know if it was you or Bieber or both of you, but
somehow all the eyes were on me, and I ended up behind the bar, and I poured 2 pints, and the first one I was told is a Southern pint.
Was it a class pint?
It was.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was trying to understand the instruction I was being given on the fly.
What was a Southern pint?
Well, I guess it wasn't
No
good,
head.
So
No head on it.
No sparkler.
No
But
sparkler.
the second one was a proper Northern pint, and
Big foam head on it. Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant, but no, it was like a thumb. That's the
thumb. Yeah. That's right.
So
Yep.
it all worked out.
Yep.
So I was, turning red and feeling under the spotlight, but it all worked out.
You're an
And
honorary UK Northern.
I was happy to drink both of them.
I mean, you can pour for me tonight. We'll go and get a beer later.
Thank you.
Right, so we've got a sponsor for this channel called Mosaic Ball Printers, who produce our beer mats and produce beer mats for loads of breweries and tap rooms all around the UK. How are you at bar mat flipping, Chris? When was the last time you did it? You've never bar mat flip. Okay, so we've got a leaderboard at the moment.
It's happening again.
So I will fuck this up, mate. So a bar flip is back a hand. Put the bar mats about a third of the way over the table, and the idea is to push and grab them. Right? So they need to do one full rotation, and you need to catch them. You start with 10. This is your tester.
Okay. I'm left-handed. Is it okay if I do it on this side?
No, unfortunately, you can't do it. Right, so no. Right, so you can get a tester. You can have a couple because you've never done this before, Chris.
Okay.
So,
Currently, the record is 12.
So what I suggest you do is push up and just push it.
Okay.
Don't flip. Push.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I think I know where this one's going. To be fair. Bebo, can you do this? Have you ever done this before? Does this not exist outside of the UK?
I don't know.
No, we've had French people and Finnish people.
There you go. I mean, it's got,
Well, we'll give you that. Right, so you now, that's us 10. You now get...
give him an extra 5.
I think we go 20.
You reckon 20? All right.
Right.
It's goes.
So, by the way, the leaderboard is so shit at the moment, right? The winner has only got 12 beer mats.
Then let's go for it.
So you could smash this. You could become
But
a
you
legend.
can't touch the table afterwards?
No,
Okay.
We'll let you off because
Okay.
So it should be one full rotation and
Okay.
it shouldn't touch the table.
All right.
It's close.
Unlucky. But no, thank you so much for joining us, dude. We shall be swinging by.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been lovely.
Keep making that beer.
That's
Making the
that's
pills
insane.
because
Like,
Here's this guy.
have you got some impies on as well?
We have a double stout, and we have a bourbon barrel aged Imperial Porter as well. So
Well, I guess we'll see you later.
we keep forgetting about Luke, the camera guy, by the way.
cheers, guys.
Dude,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you so much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers, Chris.
Cheers.
The Rivington Farm Trip speed dating sessions are produced by Planet Beer TV, with filming and audio recording by Luke Bartlett, with a special thanks to Hal Cockcroft for supplying the drone footage. A huge thanks to the breweries for giving up their time to speak to us, Ben and the team at Rivington for having us, and Mosaic Bold Print for sponsoring the series.